Thanks for spending some time with me on a Saturday, July 2020. It's been a strange year. We're getting towards the backside of it though. Thank goodness, and hopefully things will get better and less weird than they are now. So the last video I did was for the paint booth, part one of the paint booth installation. Looks like it's gotten a fairly good response, so thank you if you've seen that. If you haven't seen that, you can check it out on my channel. It's interesting that anytime I do, there are two types of videos basically. There's videos where I'm running trains or reviewing trains, and there's videos where I'm doing stuff that's around the trains, like the paint booth installation. And it's always funny that those videos, the ones that are not directly trains themselves, always get lower views, and I know that, but I do them anyway because I like doing those things. I've never understood that. I don't understand if you're into model trains. Once you get pretty deep into the hobby, you'll find that a lot of the stuff you do is usually not the trains themselves. It's usually the stuff around the trains. You don't spend 100% of your time looking at trains and running the trains and talking about trains. You do a lot of other surrounding stuff as well that indirectly involves the trains, like the spray booth and like my workshop and stuff like that. But regardless, people always seem to not like those videos as much. At least that's what the stats show. But I have to just sort of say I don't care, and I'm going to do them anyway, because there's no way I can do every single video about actual trains. If I did that, I wouldn't be able to. Number one, I'd probably get burnt out and just go crazy after a while. And number two, I wouldn't be able to release a video as often as I do. But I'd only be putting out a video every 4 weeks or so, because it takes a while to film product reviews and stuff like that. So the other stuff is sort of, I think just as important as the trains, if not more important. So the spray booth part one is up. You've seen it. The spray booth has arrived. It is assembled. It is operating. The only thing that's missing right now is the vent work to get the exhaust from the paint booth to the outside of my house. And I'm waiting on the ductwork to be delivered, because they didn't have the specific kind of ductwork I needed at my local Home Depot and Lowe's. So I had to order from a specialty place a special vent for that. So hopefully that'll get here in the next week. I'm also waiting on my airbrush paints, because I do want to do some airbrushing at the end of that video briefly. And there's also a few airbrush accessories I'm waiting on. Also, while I was waiting for the vent work to arrive, I took the opportunity to upgrade my air compressor setup to a nicer air compressor, and I'll show that in another video. It's an Iwata SmartJet Pro, and I used to have an Iwata Silverjet, and now I got a SmartJet Pro. So it's a little bit of an upper end compressor with the moisture trap and auto shut off and all that stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to finish up part two in the next week or so, and then get it up. I've already edited together most of it. All of it up until installing the external vent is finished. I don't have the vent, so I can't film that part. And of course I can't airbrush until I have the vent installed. But I think you guys will like that video. Hopefully it's not too boring. There's not a single train in 90% of the video, right up until the end. But hopefully that you guys will enjoy that. And like I said, when you're deep into this hobby, oftentimes the stuff you do, most of the time, doesn't have anything to do with the trains. It's the stuff around the trains, and it's enjoyable to do that. I like doing stuff like that. It's been really fun building my workshop out and building the spray booth out. The spray booth is huge. It's gigantic. I kind of got a little scared when it showed up and I realized how big it was. I was like, oh my gosh, what have I got myself into? But it's all set up. It's all good to go. So it's going to be really fun, and I'll be able to do a lot of weathering videos and stuff like that in the future. That's the spray booth situation. The other news is the new Lionel catalog has come out, 2020 Volume 2. of course, everybody's excited and, going crazy about it, I'm sure. So I thought we would look at the catalog in this video and go over some of the stuff and talk about some stuff that I might order. As is the case with most catalogs when they come out, it's usually a very painstaking process of eliminating stuff from my list, because obviously I can't afford to buy everything in the catalog, even though I would like to. So you have to I usually make a big list and then sort of start narrowing it down to something that's within my budget. That always takes a while. It's kind of funny, earlier I saw someone have a question that said, hey, have you submitted your Lionel order yet? And it's like, I don't submit my Lionel order till the last day. I mean, if the deadline is September 1st, I'll be turning it in on August 31st or 30th, whatever it is. So is August 31 days or 30 days? 31 days, August. Okay, so I'll be turning it in on August 31st if the deadline was September. I don't know when the deadline is, but I always wait till the last minute because I'm always thinking and changing my mind about stuff and changing the list. And then, of course, oftentimes when the stuff starts arriving, a year or two later, I find myself saying, what was I thinking when I ordered this? It's kind of funny. Sometimes I forget what I was thinking when I ordered something, and I'll be like, what is this? So, yeah, see, somebody already got their order submitted. It's like, it's not a race. You don't have to submit it. It's not like the sooner you submit it, the sooner you get it. There's a deadline, and as long as you get it in before the deadline, you'll get it at the same time as everybody else. So it's not a race. Anyway, so what we'll do is we will share my screen. So here's the 2020 Volume 2 catalog, and I don't know what I think about the cover. It reminds me of the cover of the 1946 catalog, which is a funny cover as well. I wonder whose kid that is. I wonder if that's a historical photo or if it's a stage photo with one of the kids of one of the employees at Lionel. I guess we'll never know. But there it is. And there's the whole bunch there. There's Dave Olson. I can see Dave down there. I think he's right there. And a few other people I recognize in there. So, and here's the timeline for Lionel Magic Through the Ages. All right, so we start with the O scale stuff. And by the way, as I'm sharing this, I cannot see your questions. Your questions are over here on the other screen, and so you're going to have to wait. If you have a question, I'll go over to the questions maybe once or twice during the catalog, and if you have a question, I can ask it. You can ask it, but right now I can't see because it's on my other tab. The YouTube chat is on my other tab. So, all right, so we've got the Legacy Steam, the Legacy S1. So I'm really glad that Lionel is bringing this out. I guess it's new tooling. We'll find out. Maybe it's the MTH tooling. Maybe it's the MTH tooling. But I'm just kidding. But so they got some nice offerings. I think I will probably get the Tuscan Red just because it's so pretty compared to the other ones. So I will probably get the Tuscan Red. And it's got the safety valve steam, which should be pretty cool. 2 interchangeable nameplates on all 3 PRR schemes. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Safety valve steam. That should be an interesting feature. So yeah, I'm going to get I will most likely get the Tuscan Red. And by the way, before the show started, I mentioned this right before the show started, but I've glanced at the new catalog very, very, very briefly. So what you're seeing, what you're hearing is probably going to be my first reaction or my a very fresh reaction, because I really haven't studied this much at all, and I did that on purpose so that I could share it with you guys, and you guys could get my first reaction, I guess, in a manner of speaking. And then they've got some passenger cars to go with it, of course, because they want me to spend more money. So I will probably get the passenger cars, yes. I'll probably get the 4-pack, maybe one of the 2-packs, and maybe the Station Sounds Diner. I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to think about the passenger cars. Passenger cars are always a slippery slope, because you buy an engine and then you say, well, if I'm going to buy the engine, I might as well buy the passenger cars. And then before you know it, I mean, I remember a time when I had no passenger cars in my collection not too long ago. And now I've got, I mean, it's a challenge to find a place to put them. So anyway, the Legacy 460. It says it's new. Is this I guess it's a new tooling? I don't know. Add-on magnetic nameplate for the tender. I like that. That's cool. I wonder if that's all of them or just this one. I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me that. But Tony, you're the moderator, so since I can't see the chat right now, if you maybe could write down if someone answers a question of mine, or if someone does have an interesting question, write that down, and get it to me once I go back to the chat, because I can't see the questions now. So the 460s, I will probably get one of these. I don't know which one I'll get right off the top of my head. Maybe the Southern or the Texas and Pacific. I tend to go, a lot of guys, when I order trains, I tend to gravitate towards what I think looks nice. Not necessarily, it's usually what I think looks nice versus what I think I need. It's usually not anything about like, oh, that's that's a real engine that's on display, in this city and stuff like that. It's usually just an aesthetics thing for me at this point, because I like to have stuff that sticks out and that's attractive and that is going to get noticed. All right, the 2882s. So another nice engine. It says new. Now, I don't know if that's new tooling or not, because Lionel's done 2882s before. I might get one of these. This is on the maybe list because I've got stuff similar, and so I may or may not get one. If I do get one, I will probably get either Santa Fe or Norfolk and Western, but we'll see. We'll see. You can get them weathered by Harry Heike, or you can get them weathered by Eric Siegel with his new spray booth. Maybe I should start doing that as a service. I'll weather people's models for $50 a model or something like that. Then we've got more 2882s. This one looks really cool. I like the way that one looks. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't really have any real attachment to the Northern Pacific 1501, if there is one, but I like the way this one looks. So I might get that one. Who knows? Then we've got 282s, Mikados again. And Lionel's done Mikados before. I've got a couple Lionel Mikados, so I may pass on this one unless there's some compelling reason for it. I'll probably pass on this one, but we'll see. Like I said, I like to think and ruminate on these things for a while. And now we get to the diesels. So we're at the diesel section now. So let's go back here and we'll I'll look at a question. I'll look at some questions real quick. Let me put the camera back on me. So we'll take a break before we go to the diesels, and I'll look and see. Tony, I don't know if you've seen any questions, or if you want to text it to me. I don't know if you have my number or not, but we should probably do that next time, because it's. If I see a question, I'll answer it real quick. Nice retool of the Southern 4501. Black 4501. So does someone want to, I don't know off the top of my head what the 4501 is all about. So if someone wants to explain that to me, feel free, and I'll read it in the chat. Someone says, what happened to your legacy coal hauler set? I still have that. Still have it. I love that set. Do I like the S1 or the T1 better? They're both pretty cool. If I was going to pick one, I'd probably pick the T1, but that's just me. Why did you choose O scale over HO scale? Because HO stinks. No, I'm just kidding. It's what I start. It's a long story. If you want to find out why I started off with HO, go to ericstrains.com and read the introductory paragraph that's on the front page, and that'll tell you pretty much all you need to know. So 4501 in general, maybe I should just look it up and we'll see what the whole Southern 4501. It's a Mikado. And it's on display somewhere. Looks like it's operating. Operates in tourist excursion service, so it is operating. So it's an operating Southern Mikado. That's cool. And you know, I know it may seem strange that I don't know what engines are off the top of my head, but I'm just not, you know, I'm just not like that. I can't, you know, I don't know every single locomotive off the top of my head. As strange as that may seem, I don't know. You know, I know the big ones, you know. I mean, I know 4014 and stuff like that, but you know, and 611 and stuff like that, but I don't know every single one in the country. So it's a 282 Mikado that runs at the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum in Chattanooga, Tennessee. That locomotive put TVRM on the map. Cool. So let's go back to the catalog real quick. Tony says, it's a pretty popular engine. He's probably saying, geez, what's wrong with this guy? He doesn't know what 4501 is. So let's go back to the, I pulled up the Wikipedia page for 4501. So when in doubt, just Google it. Chattanooga, Tennessee is the new home of JLWWII, the HO guy. Oh gosh, what's his? I don't know what his. I don't know what it is. JLWI. I forget the last few names. I'm sorry, but he's up in Tennessee. He's up in Chattanooga now. What is his name? JLWII 2000. There it is. So, he just moved to Chattanooga, and which is good because now we're neighbors pretty practically. Chattanooga is about 90 minutes away from me, so I'm hoping that that he and I will be able to do some stuff in the future. All right, so let's go back to the catalog. So we've got our diesels. Yeah, JLWII 2000. That's his name. James is his name. He's a really cool guy, and we've kind of become friends over the last year or so. And very cool guy. He's in the Air Force, and I'm really glad that he's in Chattanooga now because he's an HO guy. He doesn't really do much O, and I'm O. I don't really do much HO. And so we've thought about doing some collaborations together, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So I think I'll probably maybe go up and have lunch with him sometime soon as he gets more settled into his house. If you haven't checked out his channel, check it out. JLWII 2000. It's a really good channel for HO and just for model railroading in general. And he's a really cool guy. Anyway, so we've got our E7AA sets, and I like these a lot. I like the square windows. That's what I see when I look at this, and I will probably either get they've got looks like 5 road names. I will probably either get the ACL or the City of Los Angeles UP. I'm right now I'm sort of gravitating towards the UP just because I like that City of Los Angeles. But I don't really have a whole lot of Atlantic coastline in my collection right now. And so I may get that just because I want to start getting some ACLs, some more ACLs. I don't know if I have any ACL stuff. Maybe one of you guys knows off the top of your head, but I've got bad memory today. I haven't had a lot of I haven't had my coffee yet, so I need some caffeine. Anyway, so we've got so I will probably want to get one of these two, not one of these 3, and yes, I will probably get the super base unit as well. So there's that. Then we've got some passenger cars. I probably won't get any of these, although these are Vision baggage cars. But I've already got a couple of these, so I don't think I'll get one of these. If I do get one of these, it'll probably be the one on the right-hand side, the New York Central 60-foot baggage car on the right-hand side. It'll probably be that, but we'll, who knows. And then we've got some more E7AA and AB sets. Boy, they're really trucking out the E7s here, man. These are really pretty too. That Rock Island, man, that's gorgeous. I might have to get 2 of these. Damn, that Rock Island's gorgeous. What do you guys think? Then we've got the Southern Pacific Golden State passenger cars. I've actually got 2 of these already that were made by K-Line years ago. They're very, very beautiful. Now, I guess these are meant to go with, are these meant to go, maybe someone can answer me this, and Tony, let me know if someone answers it, but are these meant to go with an engine in this catalog? New York Central, or Southern Pacific, I guess maybe these are the leftovers from the Vision Line daylight that they're doing. So yeah, maybe those are meant to go with those, because I know in the last catalog they did the Golden State and the Lark. So maybe those are left over just in case you forgot to get them last time. You can get them now. All right, so the genset switchers. Obviously, these are not the original Vision Line genset switchers. They're not die-cast metal. I don't think they have the smart exhaust like the last ones did. I think it's just I think that there's a fan-driven smoke unit from the three exhaust stacks, but I don't think it's the smart smokestacks like they had on the Vision Line ones, which makes sense. I mean, you're trying to cut it down, make it a little more affordable. Personally, I think a Vision Line genset rerun would be great, but probably I guess they don't want to do that. Um, I had heard someone say I forget where I heard this, but that the toolings for the diecast ES44s and the diecast gensets were rendered inoperable somehow, and so they actually can't go back and make those again in die-cast metal. I don't know if that's true, but I seem to recall hearing that somewhere. Boy, I really need some coffee or a Red Bull or something. Um, so we've got these more budget-friendly, if you will, genset switchers. They're only $600. um, and I think it's cool. They're bringing them out again. I don't know if I will get one of these. No, you know what? I probably will get one of these just to sort of compare it to the Vision Line ones, just in terms of the differences. Um, what's been cut down and so forth and what they've changed. But I've got quite a few genset switchers, so I'm not in a desperate need for one. That being said, I will either get the Norfolk Southern or the Union Pacific with the graffiti. So, all right, then we got some GP7s. I think I might already have a Lionel GP7 in my fleet. I'll have to check that out. I probably won't get one of these. If I do, it would probably be the, gosh, I'd probably do something I don't have a lot of. I'd probably do like Texas and Pacific or Maine Central, something like that. If I get one, I'll probably pass on these. Okay, so Tony is now texting me with what people are asking, and so they're asking if I like the graffiti genset. So yeah, I do like it. I do like it a lot, and that's on the definite maybe list. If I get one of these, it'll probably either that UP or the Norfolk Southern. Um, I really like that though. That's pretty cool. Of course, we'll have to see how it looks when it arrives. Graffiti is one of those things that it's really easy to do it bad or to do it cheesy, and so you have to be careful when you're doing graffiti because graffiti is a real art form, and I don't know if Lionel did this or not, but if I was Lionel and I was doing a graffiti covered engine or car, I would go out and hire a graffiti artist to do the artwork for me. And actually, there's a guy I found years ago who actually does that. If you pay him, I think he charges $50 or so per car. He will actually put graffiti on your car, and he's an actual graffiti artist that knows what he's doing. So I don't know if that's what they're doing. I don't know if that's what they're not doing, but I know that if I was at Lionel, that's what I would do. I would go out and contract a real graffiti artist and get him to do actual real graffiti. So now we've got the shark nose. I've already got a shark nose set. It's a New York Central shark nose. I don't have a super base unit, and the one that I have, like I said, is New York Central, which they probably have over here. Yeah, here it is. So I've got this one here that they did a few years back. So I might just order the super base unit and call it a day. Although actually my shark noses have scale couplers because the gap between them was so bad on the last run that I had to fix it with some scale couplers. Hopefully they've fixed the gap. If I order one of these, I will probably order this U.S. Army. That's pretty cool with the shark face on it, like an airplane. Either the U.S. Army or maybe, you know, the Baldwin demonstrator, maybe Santa Fe. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. At the very least, I might order one of the New York Central Super Bass. But of course, I would have to outfit it with scale couplers to work with my current Sharknose diesels. So Tony says he heard the car was designed by a graffiti artist, but he can't confirm it. So that's good to hear. That's good to know. So, yeah, that would be great. And I could probably ask someone at Lionel, and they would. I mean, I'll ask Dave over at Lionel. He'll tell me. But um, if they did hire a graffiti artist, that would be stellar. That would be awesome. Because you can't really fake graffiti. Yeah, a corporate person who has never done that before. Even me, like I couldn't fake graffiti. I'm not a graffiti artist. It's an art form. All right, moving on. We've got the New York Central Explorer set. So it's got a shark nose and then 3 passenger cars. Yeah. I don't know. I'm probably gonna pass on this. I'll have to think about it. I'm probably gonna pass on it though. It looks nice though. It does. It looks nice. All right. So then we've got some O sets that they've got, and I always like it when Lionel does O scale sets. Um, they make some really good sets over the years. They've made some great sets. It's always fun when they come in a nice set box, that is decorated specifically for that set. But so we've got the Aliquippa P&LE freight set, which has a GP7, and they've got a GP7 Southern freight set. So, going back to those GP7s that we saw a moment ago, maybe instead of ordering one of these, since I already have a couple GP7s in my fleet, maybe I'll order one of these sets, and that way I'll get these extra cars. I'd probably order the P&LE version because I don't have any Pittsburgh and Lake Erie stuff in my fleet at all. So this would be a nice addition. Then we've got some passenger cars. I'm going to pass on these. I don't need them right now. If I was going to get any of these, I'd probably get these Pullmans down here at the bottom. And we've got some more theater cars. I've got one theater car already, which I haven't reviewed yet. It's one of those things that I've been meaning to review, and maybe I'll do it on the Christmas Bonanza this year because it's one of those things I've wanted to review, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So that being the case, I probably won't order another theater car. If I do, it would probably be, let's see here. I'd probably do the Santa Fe track inspection car. To be honest, that's pretty cool. Then we've got some covered gondolas and some roof hatch boxcars. Nice stuff. Probably won't order any of these because I've got plenty of rolling stock already. I usually, for rolling stock, unless it's something really special, I usually save my rolling stock purchases for little add-ons when I go down to Legacy Station. I'll see something and throw it on the counter and say, let me get this. So these look nice though. I like these. This is pretty cool. I didn't notice this roof hatch. So this is different. You know what? I might get one or two of these. I might get one or two of these because I don't have any box cars that have hatches on the roof. I'm backpedaling. Maybe I will get one of these. Probably central of Georgia or southern. We'll see. $95 a piece. Woo. What are these? Why is it $95? Separately apply details. Well, it does have the roof hatches, I suppose. All right. Moving on, we've got the 100-ton hopper 2-packs. Probably won't get any of these because I've already got lots of coal hoppers in my collection. And the same goes for the PS2 hoppers. Bay window caboose. Let me see if there's anything that I need. I don't see anything that I need. Maybe L&N. I'm always looking for cabooses because I have so many road names represented in my collection that anytime it seems that as many cabooses that I have, I'm always not having the one that I need at that moment. So I'll get a set and it'll be some new road name that I've never done before, and all of a sudden I'm like, dang it, I don't have a matching caboose. So I'm always acquiring cabooses. That's why I've got up in my stairwell, I've got a set of shelves that is nothing but cabooses. Because I'm always adding them because you always need them at the end of the train. If you're doing anything in the steam era or early diesels, you always need a caboose at the end. Standard O flat car with stakes, probably won't get those. I'll think about it. Standard O RBLs. What is an RBL? I'm probably an idiot for not knowing that. These are more affordable. I wonder if these are the X-Weaver stuff. This is probably X-Weaver. So I don't know if I probably won't get one of those. And then we've got some more cabooses. Probably won't get any of those. And then we get to the Lion Chief stuff, which I'm personally probably not going to order any of that. However, I probably will have some sent to me to review. So that should be fun. So this is pretty cool. Lion Master AC-12. That's pretty darn cool. It's not something that I would buy myself, but if you've got tight curves on your layout, this thing runs on 031. That's incredible. A cab forward that runs on 031 curves. So that is pretty darn cool, although it's $1,300. GP7s. Chesapeake C&O Lion Chief set. Nice looking set. Just Lion Chief. And we've got Angela Trotter Thomas and her cars and personalized cars, fireworks. Then we've got the accessories. So let's take a look at the accessories. They've got the firework factory, simulated exploding fireworks with fiber optic LEDs, sound and light effects, plug, expand, play, control box included, smoke. So that's pretty cool. $260, but that's pretty darn cool, I gotta say. Got a tattoo parlor, a plumber store, sofa store, mattresses. That's pretty cool. I like that fireworks factory. I don't know if I will get that. I don't really have room for it on my layout, but it's pretty darn cool. And then we've got some more buildings, wings, jeans, track work crew, another track work, a road crew. This is a road crew, and then a track crew. That's pretty cool. This has been around for a long time. It's a nice accessory. I don't know why it says new, but okay. And they got some houses, got an abandoned house. It's kind of cool. Be cool to get something like this and then weather it. And then we've got, the Lion Chief app and all that stuff. And we've got our AF stuff, American Flyer. There's just about a 0% chance that I'm going to get any American Flyer stuff. And then we've got, I guess that's where that cover catalog, the cover comes from, is that kid right there. I don't know who that is, but maybe someone sent that in to Lionel. I don't know. That kid's happy, though, I'll tell you that. And then we've got our celebrating 50 years of the Lionel Collectors Club of America. And they've got some Lion Chief engine and some cars. I won't be getting these things. And then they've got all their control systems laid out here in a nice little comparison. Kind of cool. And that's it. So there it is. The 2020 Volume 2 catalog. So yeah, I think it's a pretty cool catalog. As you can see, there's some stuff in there I'd like to get. But as I also said, I never order things super quickly with when it comes to the catalogs. I usually wait right up until the end and submit my order then, because I like to have time to think and change my mind back and all that kind of stuff. So, hopefully there's a little bit of something for everybody in the new catalog, and hopefully you'll find something that you like. The most painful part of the catalogs for me is always having to narrow down my list, because I'll probably start with a list that includes everything in the O scale section, and then I'll slowly have to kick stuff off the list to fit into my budget. But that's the way budgets work. You can't get everything. You do have to work within the constraints of a budget. So yeah, there you have it, the new catalog. I'm not sure when the deadline is. I'm sure I'll probably ask Brian over at Legacy Station when the deadline is, and like I said, I'll turn it in the day before the deadline. But I do like a lot of the stuff in there. If I had to pick a favorite item, that S1's pretty cool. I'd say probably the S1 or the E7 sets or the graffiti gen set. Those would probably be my three top favorites, just right now. That may change though. That may change. Opinions do change over time, and certainly that's why I like to give myself lots of time to decide. So, what's your opinion on Lionel adding the 5 whistle horn settings on their newest engine? I think that's cool. I think that's cool. The more the merrier. It's nice that Lionel is always innovating, and that's what I like about them. They're always changing things and improving things, and it does come at the cost of some reliability and quality control, but you can't say they don't innovate, and that's one of the great things about them. Are the gensets going to have fixed pilots? I don't know. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't. I mean, the gensets are pretty small, so my guess is that it's either going to have the fixed pilots or the sprung pilots. These days, Lionel tends to be doing the sprung pilots a lot. So they're not attached to the truck. They're attached to the body, but they do have some give to them. And I would wager that they're either going to be fixed or sprung. They definitely won't be attached to the truck. I would be very surprised if they were attached to the truck. Okay, so someone checked the Volume 1 catalog, and the Rock Island passenger coaches are in there, and it specifically states that the matching E7 locomotives are coming in Volume 2, which they did. So that's good. Is it possible to hack into a Lion Chief locomotive and change up the sounds? I'm sure it's possible. Easy? No. I don't know how to do something like that, but I'm sure it's probably a read-only chip, I would imagine. but who knows? There are always possibilities, as Mr. Spock would say. So we'll talk about some upcoming videos, and then I'll show you a couple things, and we'll run some trains. I do have some videos, a lot of videos in the works right now. So in terms of product reviews, I'm reviewing a Stone Mountain GP7 from MTH. I'm reviewing a Lion Chief Plus 2.0 Norfolk Southern SD80. Actually, you can see both of them right now. There they are. So I'm doing reviews for both of those. The SD80, I just wrote a review for it for OGR Magazine. So I won't be doing a video review for it for some time, although I will run it today, so you'll be able to see it run. But I won't do a review on it for a little while because since I've started writing for OGR Magazine, they don't want me to do a video for an engine before the article comes out because they want people to be motivated to read the articles, which I understand. I completely understand that. So it's kind of a balancing act where I try to, review stuff on this channel and then save a couple things for the magazine. And the SD80 is one of those things that I've saved for the magazine. So I will be running it today, but if you want to read all about it and read about the features and all that stuff, I would check out the upcoming issue of OGR Magazine. I believe it's going to be not in the newest issue, but in the next issue, which will be, I think, is going to be the September, October issue, something like that. In that issue, I'll be reviewing the SD80 that you see here, and I'll also be reviewing the new Menards triple animation fire station, which is utterly fantastic. That's up in my garage workshop right now, and I will do a video on that eventually, but man, that thing it's got 3 animated items. It's got 2 animated fire trucks and an animated helicopter on the roof. It's outstanding. But it's not for sale yet. They sent me a preview copy of it, and I don't even have the price on it yet. So, but I did write an article on it and on the SD80 that you just saw, and those will be in the upcoming issue of OGR Magazine. And if you've never checked out OGR Magazine, I would strongly suggest that you do that. It's a great magazine and really helps if you're trying to learn stuff in this hobby. Videos are great, but reading is a whole nother avenue for learning and growing this hobby. And I would definitely become a subscriber to OGR Magazine and Classic Toy Trains if you're not already. So those 2 engines there. I will be doing reviews. I'm filming a review right now for the GP7 that you see there. That's a Rail King GP7. And then the SD80 review will come later this year after the article comes out. And then I've also got, I'm also filming a review for another Menards building, the Tide Soap Factory. Doing that right now. I'm filming a review for a Canadian Pacific F7A BBA passenger set. And I think that's it for product reviews right now. I'm also filming a video, sort of how-to video on fixing the sound card in my Vision Line Challenger. So that's coming up. I've got the paint booth videos going on. And I've got a layout update video in the works as well. So there's lots of videos going on right now. Oh, and then there's the Alaska set too. I filmed the unboxing, but I haven't started filming the review yet. You'll see the Alaska set in just a few minutes when we run some trains. The Alaska F7 set. So lots of product reviews and other tutorial videos in the works right now. I've also got a restoration video that I'm working on, 2 restoration videos that I'm working on. So I could go on and on about upcoming videos. I never have enough time to film videos. The list, I'm constantly in a state of being behind shooting videos because there's so many to shoot. I'll do a couple more questions and then we'll run some trains and then we'll call it a day. Hey, Eric, do you watch NASCAR? No, I don't watch NASCAR. Sorry. Someone says, I know in a previous episode you had the Lionel Pensy CC2 steam engine. Do you still have it on the shelf? I do. It's actually right over there. I can see it. I don't have any immediate plans to review it because it's over 10 years old. I have given some thought to starting another series of videos called retro reviews. And so if I ever start that series of videos and review some older stuff, I might review it then. But right now, there are no immediate plans to review it because, as you just heard, I've got so many videos to film right now that, a 10-year-old engine is not high on the list. So, but you never know. If I do start that series with the retro reviews, which I'd like to do, it'll probably get mentioned then. Hey Eric, are you still working on additions to the layout? Yeah, I'm not adding anything to the layout, but I'm trying to finish the layout. Most of the work I'm doing right now is not the trains, but the scenery. I'm doing laying asphalt and parking lots and street lights and stuff like that, sidewalks, stuff like that. That is probably 95% of what I'm doing on the layout right now. Hey Eric, do you have the UP gas turbine? I have a UP coal turbine. I used to have an MTH UP gas turbine that was an older model, but I sold it to make room for the new coal turbine. The current issue of OGR magazine that just came out right now has a review that I wrote for the coal turbine and for the Menards Schneider Freight Depot with the animated forklift. So if you want to read about those, check out that issue. I will be shooting a review for the UP coal turbine at some point this year, but I haven't started it yet. Did you ever add 2 more Lionel 180 powerhouses? No. Right now my layout just runs on 4 180 powerhouses. It runs just fine on it, so I haven't had any reason to change that. Do you like to control Lion Chief sets with the remote or Bluetooth? I like to use the remote control. I'm a remote control person. I do use the app on the phone from time to time, but I just like the response of a remote. I've always liked the response of a remote. The problem with the smartphones my problem with them is that the throttle control is not quite as fine as with the remote. You have your big finger and you're like, "Rrr." So you can't get quite as fine a throttle control as with the remote. Probably the app that I like best for smartphone control is the MTH app because it does have an incremental button where you can increment the miles per hour one at a time. That is pretty good. But like the Lion Chief app and stuff like that, like you just use your finger to throttle up the speed and it's okay, but it's not my favorite. I prefer the remote, which is why I'm really happy that the new Lion Chief Plus 2.0s are legacy compatible, or they have TMCC on board, so I can run them with my legacy system. Is space an issue when getting new trains? Yeah, it's an issue. I'm out of space. I'm always having to invent new places to store trains. I store a lot of them upstairs now since I'm not married, but the stuff I store upstairs is mainly passenger cars and tin plate trains. All the rest of the stuff I try to keep, all the rest of the locomotives I try to store down here. But yeah, space is an issue. I'm rapidly, it's always an issue. It's always a problem because there's so much stuff, underneath the layout. The space under the layout is completely full. And so I started storing boxes up in my camping room. That is full. Now that my son's gone to college, I start storing boxes in his walk-in closet in his bedroom. And that's getting full. So it's always a problem. I should probably put some in the attic. I've just never been a big fan of storing boxes in the attic because it's hot, it's cold, it's not a very controlled environment. So I'm not a huge fan of the idea of storing stuff up there. Although they're just empty boxes, I guess it's probably not that big of a deal, but that's sort of a last resort. Maybe I'll just rent a U-Haul or I'll rent a storage garage down the street and start putting my boxes in there. I mean, that's what I might have to do at some point. Either that or knock out the back of the house and expand. which is a possibility too. So we're up to an hour now. So what do you say we run a few trains and then we'll call it a day? All right. So there is the brand new Alaska F7 set, the 2A units, and then the Super Base B unit. And then there's 6 passenger cars. Now, when I power this up, you're going to hear a noise, and it startles me every time I hear it. I think the engine's starting up by itself, but it's actually, there's a generator car behind it that has the sounds of a generator, which is pretty cool. Yeah, the trucks in the B unit are black. I don't know if that was a mistake or not, but I don't care. Chessie. So that's about it for today's show. Now, I did say I would show you Chessie. I did show you Chessie for a minute, but Chessie. All right. And there he is. Say, hey, Chessie. Hey. Yep. he was just having a nap, so he's a little sleepy right now. But yeah, I don't know how he's gotten so big. I feed him diet food, and he still can't lose weight. I think he absorbs calories from the air. So that'll about do it for now. The next video that'll be out should be part 2 of the airbrush spray booth installation. If that ends up taking a little longer than it should, I'll either release part of it and then do a part 3, or I'll release another video, probably the review for the Menards Tide soap factory building. And then after that, there'll be some product reviews that should be ready by then. So yeah, Jesse is a Russian blue. He's a Russian blue. I bought him from a Russian blue dealer over in Alabama 3 years ago. Anyway, so I think that's going to do it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show, and hope you enjoyed the running session and the going through the catalog and all that stuff. And we'll probably do another live show, maybe later this month or early August or something like that. But in the meantime, keep a lookout for new videos. I'm really excited about the new spray booth going in. That's really the thing that's on the top of my mind right now, and that I'm working on every day and really looking forward to. So that's going to be exciting when it shows up, and I'll finally be able to show you guys some airbrush weathering, and I might even start doing some custom paint stuff. I've never really done that before with the airbrush because I didn't have a good setup. But now that I'm gonna have a decent setup, I might be able to do some custom paint stuff. Anyway, so that'll be it. Someone asked if I have any European engines. Yeah, I have a lot of European. I don't have a lot, but I have 5. I have 4 steam engines and 1 electric. I would like to get some more before it's all said and done. Probably 2 or 3 more, but that'll take some time. Anyway, so that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time, okay? Have a good weekend.